Oopsie doopsie. I'm tired. I'm going to fall off the chair soon. If you hear a big noise, it's me falling off my stool. Oh boy. And we're live.
I think it says it's going.
Correct. Here we are.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, everybody. We are the Gratitude Girls.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Gratitude Girls training. We're so happy that you are taking the time to join us and watch us live or to catch us on a replay. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Laurie, I'm really excited. I obviously can't wait to talk about this, since the subject of tonight's call and tonight's training is communication. Let's outline what our audience and our guest is going to hear. We're going to talk about communication and the importance of communication, of valuable communication, not the noise and the chatter that fills our head and distracts us, but really good communication. I would like to cover, and so would Laurie, two different perspectives tonight, each of our perspectives, and we do feel very similar about everything, but we'll give you two perspectives. We'll have to reach in and do that. On good communication, what is it? Why do you need it? And what do you do if you don't have it? How do you get it? So Laurie, what is good communication?
Yeah, I think one of the keys to good communication is making sure that the other person understands what you're saying and they get it, right? Your point is coming across in the way that you want it to be perceived.
Okay, great. So that would mean that I would say, Laurie, I understand what you said. What you're saying is, and I'll repeat that good communication is getting my point across so that it's coming across the way I want it to be perceived. Is that what you said? Is that correct?
Right, exactly.
Great. Now that you've confirmed to me, now I can go on. But if I don't get what you say and I just keep flapping them, we're not going to get anywhere. So good communication to you and to many is to make sure that you are perceived in the way that you want to be perceived. Okay, I'll give you another perspective on what is good communication. Clear communication. Crystal clear words with contact, with eye contact, if you can. If you're texting, good luck. Excuse me, I don't know why we're coughing and sneezing tonight. But let's be crystal clear about what we're saying. So as much as I want you to repeat it, I'm going to mute myself. Excuse me. As much as I want you to repeat it, I definitely want to make sure that I am giving my message clear, concisely, in a timely fashion, not speaking too soon and not jumbling my words. So Laurie, what do you do if you don't get it?
Ask questions. Ask clarifying questions so that way you do understand. That way you can feel the and get that meaning, and if it is through texting or emails, then you get on the phone, because that's it. A lot of times that's where that communication can get lost and conversations can get misconstrued, right? Because you text something and someone reads it in a way that you didn't say it the way that you typed it, right?
Yes, Laurie, it breaks down. If we're just texting and we're relying on an open communication on texting and we can't really check and balance, so what did you mean, what did you say? I agree with you wholeheartedly. We need to check that. Here's what I like to do. And imagine me running for clarity. Imagine me running for communication. So I'm going to communicate with somebody and I'm going to ask them to do something or to grasp a concept. And I'm going to ask them for an appointment. So I'll say, Laurie, can we get together and discuss the strategy of the next Gratitude Girls show? And these are the things that I want to discuss. And how about next Tuesday at 10? And I walk away from that. And there's no paper trail. There's no Google Calendar, there's no invite, there's no notes, there's no subject about that. And we walk away and say, what were we going to talk about? What was the strategy? So imagine me chasing for communication. And I want you to get that vision, because not that I go and I chase it, but I want you to go after it so that you don't let it go. If you want to speak to somebody, put it in a calendar. Communication is knowing when you're going to communicate. Not, well, okay, I forgot. What did you say? Oh, gee, good thing you called me, because if you didn't call me, I just would have forgot about that. I don't know why it's not in my calendar. I didn't get it. Well, put it in. If I ask you to do something and you agree to it and you don't get my invite, put it in yourself. Maybe something happened on my end, maybe something happened on your end, but if you truly want to be there, so chase it, go after it, get it, fish for it, hook it. Call it what you want, attract it, have it come to you, have it call your name, have it chase you. Whatever direction you want that to be in, make sure it's there. I do everything by appointment with myself. I go to yoga by using an app. I go to the gym because I block off my schedule. I actually get my hair done by appointment. Of course I do. I can't just walk in. That's the same way I handle my business, by appointment. I don't just show up and hope somebody's there. I ask them for confirmation. So clarity is making sure that all the different levels of communication are covered. If you don't know how to use a Google Calendar and I'm meeting with you, I will probably send you an email. I will probably text you, but that won't be a guarantee. I will also call you. That old-fashioned thing called pushing a button and getting a phone number and getting a live person on the other end. Hi, I can do so much in a conversation versus a text. I can get I could spend thousands of dollars in a conversation and get it right and get a service. And I could receive thousands of dollars in a conversation. But in a text, I don't consider that a conclusive method for me to provide a service. Right, Laurie?
Right. Yes. Because that's it. There's so many things that can get construed incorrectly in a text, right? And so even if you do and should take the time, whether it's a text or an email, to proof it before you hit that send button. And I know we're all busy, right? And I've been guilty of hitting that send button too quick and then going, oops, I should have proofread that, right? But especially in professional situations and relationships, it's important to proofread them, but even in personal ones too, because how many times does that comment with your spouse or partner or your child or your parent, or your sibling, or even a friend, how often does that get misconstrued because somebody reads something wrong or you said it in a way that just is a different way, or when you do it, if you stress when you're talking, you stress a different word in a different way and it gives a totally different meaning to that sentence, right?
Right. And then we are reliant on emojis to make it all better. Like, oops. So kind of funny. Let me share a little story. So let me ask you a question and I'll share a story. How can miscommunication turn into a blessing? Do we want to sit and feel terrible about it, or can we actually turn it around? So I currently have had miscommunications with people thinking, oh my goodness, what do I do about that? But maybe if I sit and I let it be. The Beatles said it best, let it be. See what that does and see what it brings us. And I said we're going to chase that communication. We're going to let it chase us. We're going to attract it, a communication in abundance, clarity in abundance. But if it's not happening for whatever reason, let's take that message. Can we turn it into what should be instead of what we're making it? So in our day-to-day practice, by all means, know what you're going to say so that you can say it clearly and be perceived in the way that you wish. Make sure the person is listening to you and understands it and repeats it so that you can go on to the next point. Make sure that you've covered all bases and all bases are covered so that you can go to the next step and take care of your business and your personal. But if it all does not come together, don't fall apart. Take it as a sign, take it as a message. Maybe it just wasn't meant to be. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And, something else while you were talking remind me of a situation when, if you have children, you've probably done this before, right? So when you're talking to your child and you say, grab their chin, look in my eyes. And so you want to get their attention, right? So when you want someone to have your attention, and when you want to show that you're paying attention, you look in their eyes, right? You give that respect of that person is on my attention, right? I'm not worried about all the things that are going around me, right? And so I remember one time when one of my children were talking to me, and I was, of course, multitasking, and they grabbed my chin and said, "Mommy, look in my eyes." And that was it, because they knew that I was not paying attention to them the way I needed to be, right? And so that's another thing too, we want to make sure that the person we're talking to is looking in our eyes so we know that we have their attention, because otherwise their focus is probably not on us. So therefore they're not going to be comprehending exactly what we are trying to communicate. And then, of course, we want to be looking in their eyes so that way we are communicating what we need to communicate to them in the proper way, right?
Yes, Laurie, that's a great point. It could be as simple as saying, Laurie, is now a good time? And you could say, no, but I'll listen. We can let people know the truth. I have 2 minutes, I can listen, but maybe I'll need to reserve my response when I can put it together. I recently have a client that was telling me about how they were unprepared for a question. And we discussed you don't have to necessarily give someone an answer because they ask you a question. Prepare for that. That's part of the communication. So yes, you're absolutely right. You want to get that child's attention. If chocolate and ice cream don't work, you want to point them at your direction. They want to point you in their direction. If the cymbals and the drums and all those things just aren't cutting it for you, you want to make sure that you have the focus. But the focus comes from in here. So give people permission to speak with you. Tell them, when is it a good time? I really am better focused at this time instead of this time. I don't mind if you tell me now, but I truly believe that this would be a better time for me. Keep the lines of communication open. Know what works for you. The message from tonight is to have communication be part of your life. Don't settle without it. Don't settle for a life without clarity and communication. You deserve it, and those around you deserve it. And if you walk around in that gray zone, if you walk around not knowing, if you walk around wondering, what if, wish I could have, I just seem to run out of time, I didn't get to it, my list is too big, I don't make a list, I'm not a list person, I'm not goal-oriented, those things don't work for me. If you have those conversations in your life, sit down and think about it again. One really great thing that works for me is to have an accountability partner. Have someone that you can account to so they can listen and hold you accountable. So you are going to be a person of your word. Okay, my final message, and Laurie, I'll let you close on this. My final message is, love yourself enough. Believe you deserve excellent communication. And perfect practice makes perfect. So keep speaking. We have one mouth and two ears, so we should listen twice as much as we speak. So communication involves listening and speaking. Laurie, I'll pass it on to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, listening well and speaking well, but also practicing communicating, right? And practicing speaking. The more you practice communicating properly, then the better you're going to get at it, right? Too. And so yeah, the same thing. Don't settle for the communication in any type of relationship, whether it's professionally or personally, that is not conducive to the way that you want to live your life or run your business, right? So we can always all work on that all the time ourselves. And we also want to work on it to help other people that are in our sphere of influence to understand our side of point of view or whatever we are talking about too. We want to communicate that better to other people because that's it. Practice makes perfect, right?
Perfect practice, and practice makes perfect. Yes, and Laura, you left it open. With your permission, may I say, be you, because that is the best person that you can offer someone, is you being the best you that you can be.
Yes, exactly. Yes, and being uniquely you, right?
Yes.
Nobody can be exactly like you. So yeah. So, and it's funny that we both have something that goes along with that. So that is incredible too. So, just shows how much we're alike.
That's right. And because we communicate, we know exactly how each other thinks and speaks, and we can tune in. So do that with the people that you care about. Tune in with them and be on there, be in alignment with them, be on the same page, because it feels really good. And if you like what you heard tonight, then please let us know. Send us a message. If there's a subject that you would like us to cover, please share that with us. We would be happy to do that and cover that subject. Our trainings are actually once a month, and we can do them live. We do them once a month on our show, but I do them once a week with our team. So if you'd like to do something a little bit more upfront and personal, just let us know, and you can hop on our weekly training that is offline. We welcome you to do that. Laurie, how can people get in touch with us?
Yeah, absolutely. Go to our page at facebook.com/gratitudegirls. Send us a message of what you want us to train on our monthly public training here. We also, Catherine and I both have private team trainings. And then Catherine and I also do trainings together for a lot of people as well as a lot of companies. So if you want us to come speak to you, whether in person or virtually like this, we can do that as well with you personally or with your company. So Gratitude Girls, or facebook.com/gratitudegirls, and then hit message us. Our trainings are on our Facebook page, but they are also on our gratitudegirls.com page. You can find them on the different posts. And if you're looking for something, type in a keyword in our search box on our website, and then one of our trainings will probably come up that's on the subject of your interest. And we will see you here next month.
Yes, and please keep us in mind if you know of someone that has a challenge or something that they're working through or they're struggling with or they're soldiering through. Let them know about us and give us an opportunity to work with them and to help them, because you never can tell, and you never do know how you're going to help someone. So we're here to do that. Thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it, and we will catch you on the next Facebook Live.
Awesome. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.